Welcome to the PrepZone show presented by Bevill State. I'm your host, Jonathan Bentley. It's my co-host, Zach McCullough. Zach, we made it through the whole year. We're still here.
I know, we're still here. My voice is not getting over a head cold. I'm fine. I'll share it with Jonathan. It'll be good.
Thank you.
Yeah, college football is officially over now. High school has been over. The awards have been passed out, all that.
All the awards.
NFL's about to be over. Only 3 games left, and then it's the cold, dark winter.
Yes, baseball season.
Baseball season.
I know.
There's some good high school baseball around here. You get on levels above that, and it's not great.
Yes. So it's going to be a short show because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. There's been one college football game.
Just one.
So talk about that quickly. Indiana wins, and everybody's happy, and everybody's thrilled, except Miami fans.
Except
all 4 of them.
Fans. All this. I think there are
people in Miami.
Heck, all the people in Miami last night were Indiana fans.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, it's nice to have a school that wasn't traditional. You talk about not traditional. They'd never been in Indiana. This is like worse than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they literally were until before Signetti got there. They had the most losses of any team in college football history, and now they're the national champions, all because they hired the right guy, and he could scout talent better than anybody I have seen in a long time, pulling a team full of lower level transfers and 2 and 3 stars, and causing them to become a machine and roll over everyone.
Yeah, and I'm glad they won that. I didn't want to see I just wanted them to close it out. It's so
we go
hard to do.
16-0, so we could see that. So people would kind of shut up about the bye week teams not being able to perform in college football playoffs. Also because they beat Alabama, and it makes Alabama look better if we just lost to the champion.
Just mention that. Don't mention the score.
Yeah, it was 38-3. But honestly, I feel bad for all the Miami fans. I know all one of them. But I think the general consensus was just play a good game. That's what Miami did. Give them credit for that.
They did come back.
Kept it close. It's the closest Indiana had been the entire playoffs, considering they won by 35 and 34. So
was this their closest game of the season?
No, they only beat Ohio State by 3, Penn State by 3, Iowa by 5. So
whoa. So they had and to make it through, that tells you. So say this was 10 years ago. Could this have happened?
No, not under those rules because. Your rules 10 years ago is nobody was supposed to be paying players. They're supposed to be. Some were, obviously. Maybe everyone was. I don't know. But now that you can't, Indiana has money. There are some rich people that support Indiana football. So they can afford good players. And Signetti has a keen eye for talent. So if he finds somebody he wants, they're getting them. And it's a recipe for success. Now comes the fun part for Indiana. That's defending it.
Does this continue?
I think that
I think it does.
I think to kind of like Georgia, a little bit. Ever since Georgia had those 2 years where they won the national championship, that undefeated run in 2022, they haven't won a playoff game, but they've still been one of the best teams in college football. I'm not saying Indiana is starting a dynasty, but I think they're going to be a top-tier team until somebody lures Signetti away, which is possible. The NFL might, maybe a higher-level college team, so...
he's going to have to pay up, but I think it's worth it. That shows a coach can do unbelievable things that nobody thought possible.
Yeah, he's going to get a contract extension after this season. He's got to be one of the top 3 paid coaches in all of college football based on his contract.
Yeah, he's got to be. So it's just incredible.
Can't see how that goes.
Yeah, Lee Corso's old school.
Yep.
Yeah. They said Lee Corso at one point took a picture of the scoreboard. It was 7-6. They were beating Ohio State first quarter. They ended up losing like 47-7 or something.
But they had that picture.
Yes, they did have the lead at one point. Yeah. Come a long way. All right, so we're kind of making this a different show since there's no football. Like you said, all the awards are out. They gave out Mr. Football today. It was a Jackson player.
Which one? Crowell?
Crowell, that is correct.
He will be Alabama's running back next year.
Yes, that is a good pickup. Guy is incredible. He said he just wanted to win the 4A award, so he got that and Mr. Football. This is Jackson's first ever Mr. Football.
Yeah, Mr. Football usually turn out well at Alabama. We got Ryan.
We got a lot of them. Yes.
Yeah, we cannot afford much at Alabama these days, but we can afford this guy.
Right now.
Right now. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Get him in the door, though. All right, so we're kind of doing a different show. Like I said, it's going to be 2 things that stood out this year, maybe in college and high school. Like what were positives and negatives for the high school season, right?
For the high school season, I think the positive is we're both going to say Addison.
Well, we're always going to say the same thing.
It's Addison going to the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
I think Another positive is it looks like our coaching roster is pretty much intact. We had some great coaches. It looks like they're coming back. So maybe that can always change. There's time. But for now, we still got everybody, and that's great. I love all of our coaches. I don't remember having a better roster of head coaches in the area. So that's a positive as well.
That's true. Yeah, I was also going to say Addison, but I also wanted to mention Curry, somebody we normally wouldn't have in past years, but for have them win 3 games.
3-7.
And they're right there on the cusp of the playoffs, and he's miserably called.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up with like the worst crew of officials on the season in the last game. But for them to be the last team in the county that had a shot at the playoffs, I would have never guessed that. And to beat Dora this year.
Right.
I mean, they're on the rise.
It was a great season. Yeah, they got to build it. Another positive is Jasper is back.
Yes.
After the great year that they had this year, a good year last year, coming out of nowhere. That's what happens when you get a great coach. Things like this tend to happen. You start being good. And I think Jasper can definitely sustain that.
It's here to stay, I believe now. They had their one bad year his first year, and they made that jump, and now I think they're going to be battling. Could be Hartselle, Russell Shoals. It could be somebody else.
Could be. We'll see how realignment.
Realignment should be coming up later this month.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see where they land. I want Coleman back in the region at least. Yeah. All right, some negatives. Like you kind of mentioned, we're losing some players that we've had for a while.
We're losing a lot of players. Tyler Thomas, Unruh, I think, is gone as well.
Yes, that's tough.
You lose all these talented players. Of course, we'll have more talented players pop up next year. But, high school careers, you're only in high school 4 years. It's very rare that you get somebody start all those 4 years. I think Thomas did.
I think they both did.
I think they both did.
Unruh came out. Yeah, maybe he didn't start that freshman year.
But he had some playing time in there. So it cycles through quickly.
Really
high school gets over quickly. I'm almost done with high school. I've only got 3 semesters left. Yeah.
Wow. How many yards are you going to run for this year?
1.5. Right. I've got the speed for 1.5 yards on a year.
It's a shame. I mean, it happens. We've lost some good ones last year. We lost a lot of good ones. Last year we had the Winston County at Clemens.
Yeah, Chris Clemens, Jaden.
So we've had back-to-back players in the up for back of the year in the classification.
We have.
They didn't win, but to get in the top 3, Unruh this year.
Yeah, Unruh was
in 5A. Yeah, and the Viger guy won it, but I mean, they won state. He had 5 touchdowns in the championship game. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you can't leave that guy out. But
yeah, great career though, and he capped it at the Renaissance today. But now another negative you were mentioning?
Teams in the Walker County, not counting Jasper, they're their own school district, but our perennial Walker County schools in the playoffs, Oakman and Dora, bit of down years this year. Of course, Oakman, I think Oakman's making their way back up to where they were. Dora, they just, everything, I think, kind of losing the talent. It all dawned on them for 1 year. It's just one of those years. They'll be fine next year, I think. So maybe it's a bit of a blip on the radar, an anomaly, but for this year that was, a negative that Dora was down and Oatman was down.
First time, I think you looked it up, 1976.
1976.
Bicentennial. Yep. All right, so also some college negatives. I'll go through mine real fast. It would be that Auburn, actually, maybe it's a positive that they got rid of Freeze.
Yeah, that would be a positive for Auburn.
They have a new coach. That's also a positive.
New quarterback.
But they did lose Cam Coleman. But, you got to do what you got to do.
When
Freeze had to go.
When star players transfer to Texas, it feels like you never hear from them again. They don't ever do anything.
So I did not want him, and I wanted him out of the conference.
You were hoping Texas Tech.
But, yes. I mean, as long as it wasn't Alabama or Georgia, I was okay. But Texas, we don't play him next year, so that's fine. In 2 years, he'll be gone probably to the NFL after this year if everything goes as planned.
Never have to deal with him again.
Yes. Do you have any college positives?
My college, positives or negatives first? There are more negatives. The negative, as an Alabama fan, the negative is always Monday night's the national championship game. It was not Alabama hosting the trophy. That's always a negative because it's Alabama. That's the mentality. Win a national championship every year. Negatives, the transfer portal gutted Alabama this year. Positives, a lot of good players are coming to Alabama in the portal. And Alabama's building in the right direction. Next year should be a good year. So that's negatives and positives with Alabama. Another negative, somewhat related, is somebody's got to do something about NIL. Something. Yeah. I understand paying the players. I'm all for players getting some money for what they do. But just a free-for-all with no limits is not really good. I would say it's not fair, but we've seen more parity with NIL. So maybe it is more fair.
Yeah.
But
it's just kind of leveled the field.
It did level the field, but it also made it harder for teams to get talent. It feels like nobody's as talented anymore because it's so evenly distributed.
That's true. Yes.
So I don't know. That's my gripe of.
I would say it's hurt Alabama and maybe Georgia more than because they did it a different way before that.
Right. Alabama was
because everybody wanted to go to Alabama. That was the deal.
Everybody wanted to, but not anymore.
No, it's changed. Yeah, I hate that. It's because the NCAA didn't get out in front of this or reactionary, and this is
the NCAA doesn't get out in front of anything. No,
they don't do anything.
They gotta redo something with the NCAA. Somebody new take control. Let us take control.
Yeah, no, I said Saban should take control.
I think he'd do a good job.
Saban up top. I've heard Auburn fans even agree with that.
Sure, because he's not going to be biased. That's not his mindset.
No, he would do what was best for the
sport. He would do what was best.
And we would do what was best for the sport. Yes. We would favor our schools and everybody else could fend for themselves.
Yes, he would.
So Auburn has a new coach too, so that's positive.
What do you
Negative-wise, no SEC team did well. No, everybody says, we should cheer for SEC since we're SEC fans. We love an SEC team. I want all of them to lose. Is that just me?
No, that's not just you. I want surprising because most Auburn fans are not like that I've seen. Alabama fans, on the other hand, have a reason because everybody in the conference hates Alabama. But I completely agree with you. I don't owe anybody in the SEC anything because they're trying to beat my team 8 weeks out of the year. Now it's 9 weeks because the conference is expanded. So I do not owe any other SEC team anything.
Yeah, I think that's a false thing people say. Like, SEC,
you got to root for your conference.
I was pulling for Ole Miss because Kiffin left him in a lurch, so they were in a weird spot. But aside from that, and Ole Miss made it further than any SEC.
I know, went to the semis, finished third in the final polls. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good season. Now Kiffin we'll see how that works at LSU.
Yeah, Kiffin at LSU. We'll see. He's got some good pieces coming in out of the portal. So does Ole Miss. They got Deuce Knight as their starting quarterback now.
They have Deuce. Let's see how that goes. It's going to be interesting. Auburn plays them again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that new SEC schedule this year. All right, so do we have anything else? Does Zach have any picks this week?
There's no games. All right, pick. Who's winning the national championship next year?
Basketball?
In basketball, that's anybody's. Let's just take a dartboard and throw a dart at it.
I think Ohio State next year.
Next year?
I always pick them, yeah. But I don't know.
It'll probably be somebody crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe Vanderbilt.
Well, Indiana did it, and they have a coach, too, that's really good, but I don't know if he's that good. So, anyway, I think that wraps up our show and our season.
It's going to be 30 weeks. I counted.
Yeah.
Well, 29 if we do it. What's this show?
Remember how hot it was when the season started? It was boiling outside. Now it's freezing.
Now we get freezing rain this week.
Yes. That is the typical end of football season.
So much fun.
So it was a great season, even though our county teams weren't up to snuff this year. They'll be back.
They will.
They'll be back.
It's cyclical. High school football is cyclical. The teams are going to have down years. They'll be good again.
We'll have new names that we don't know right now. Maybe a new coach. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Hope not, though.
I do, too. But we want to thank Bevill for sponsoring this whole season and get out and watch them at their basketball arena. It's very nice.
It is. And speaking of Bevill, it'll be softball seasons soon, too.
Yes.
So there's more sports in the air.
Chris Harris does a great job of it. A lot of local girls on the team. It's a great softball area. Like the football area, it's this year not so great.
Softball, it's always good around here.
This is a softball county.
Yes.
Everybody's good. So I guess that wraps us up, and we'll see you in how many?
29 weeks, maybe 30.
Well,
sometime in August.
30 weeks in August. Yeah. Thanks for being with us this year, and please like and subscribe. Thanks again to Bevill, and thanks for Jake for producing this season. We'll see you next.
It's this year. Still 2026. This year, but
we'll see you in a few months.